Words have power. They can create, transform, and even drive away what we love most. Imagine that with each sentence, you are shaping your reality and your connection with God. Have you ever stopped to think that something as simple as what you say can interfere with your spirituality? Every complaint, every negative word can be a step away from the divine presence. Now reflect. How many times have you allowed yourself to be carried away by discouragement and, without realizing it, distanced yourself from what is sacred? What you say can be a reflection of what is in your heart. And this can impact not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. Caution. Amid the hustle and bustle of daily life, we can forget the importance of speaking with faith and gratitude. Have you ever questioned whether your words are building or destroying? And what if, instead of murmuring, you chose declarations of victory? Get ready to dive into a deep reflection on how taking care of your speech can bring you closer to God. With each word, an opportunity to connect with the divine. Shall we explore this theme together? The importance of language. The language we use in our daily lives is more than just a means of communication. It reflects our deepest beliefs and values. When we speak, the words we choose can reveal what we truly think about ourselves, others, and especially about God. For example, when describing difficult situations, we can choose words that express confidence or fear. This not only reveals our emotional state, but can also influence how we relate to the divine. Moreover, the way we express ourselves can affect our spirituality. Using language that exalts faith and hope can help us connect better with God. When the words we choose are filled with positivity and gratitude, they create a conducive environment for spiritual growth. This means that we must be attentive to what we say and how we say it, as this can shape our worldview. On the other hand, negative or pessimistic words can create a barrier between us and God. When we speak critically or uncertainly, we may end up feeding doubts and fears that pull us away from faith. It is important to remember that communication is not limited to what we say, but also to what we feel. If our words are filled with distrust, this can reflect a lack of faith that interferes with our relationship with the Creator. In summary, language is a powerful tool. Words have the power to build or destroy, to bring closer or push away. Therefore, we must use this tool wisely. By choosing to speak in a way that honors our faith, we are not only strengthening ourselves, but also creating a more welcoming space for God's presence in our lives. Finally, recognizing the importance of language is an essential step in improving our relationship with the divine. By speaking with love, confidence, and gratitude, we can transform not only our lives, but also the lives of those around us. Words of faith versus words of doubt. When we talk about words of faith, we are referring to a form of communication that expresses trust in God. These words have the power to calm, to bring hope, and to reinforce belief in something greater. When we affirm that we believe in divine promises, we are, in a way, strengthening our own faith and the faith of those around us. It is like a chain that spreads. An encouraging word can be what someone needs to hear in a difficult moment. In contrast, words of doubt can create an environment filled with uncertainties. When we express distrust in God or His promises, this not only distances us from Him, but can also negatively influence those around us. When we talk about our insecurities, we may end up planting seeds of doubt in the hearts of others. It is important to be aware of this impact and choose our words carefully. The difference between communicating faith and doubt goes beyond word choice. It is about an internal attitude. Words of faith come from a heart that trusts and surrenders, while words of doubt may arise from fears and insecurities. Cultivating a spirit of faith is a daily exercise that requires reflection, and self-care. We must always be attentive to what we say and how it affects our spirituality and the relationships around us. Moreover, when we communicate faith, we are also reminding ourselves of God's promises. This helps us to remain steadfast, even in the face of adversity. The words we choose can be a constant reminder of divine love and grace, guiding us in times of difficulty and uncertainty. Therefore, it is essential to practice and encourage communication that exalts trust in God. In summary, the difference between words of faith and words of doubt is fundamental. By choosing to express faith, we are not only strengthening our own spirituality, but also creating a more favorable environment for divine experience in our lives and in the lives of others. The power of words in creation. Words have incredible power, and this is clearly stated in the Bible. From the beginning, when God created the world, He used the word to bring everything into existence. Let there be light, and there was light. This idea that words can create is fundamental to understanding our spirituality. When we speak, we are not just emitting sounds, we are, in a way, shaping the reality around us. What we say can have profound consequences. Furthermore, the words we choose to use reflect our deepest thoughts and feelings. When we express love, compassion, or hope, we are not only affirming those emotions, but also creating a space for them to develop. On the other hand, words of anger or despair can generate a heavy and negative environment. This dynamic makes us realize that, when we speak, we participate in a creative act that can build up or destroy. Often, we are unaware of the impact our words have on the lives of others. A word of encouragement can be just what someone needs to overcome a challenge. Similarly, harsh criticism can demotivate and push people away. Therefore, it is essential to be mindful of what we say and how we say it. The power of words is not limited to us. It touches the lives of those who hear us. Spirituality also feeds on these expressions. When we proclaim truths about God and His promises, we are reinforcing our faith and the faith of others. This creates a network of support and encouragement where everyone can grow together. Thus, the power of words becomes a powerful tool in our relationship with God and with others. Therefore, it is important to recognize that our words play a fundamental role in creating a healthy spiritual environment. By choosing to speak with intention, we can not only transform our lives, but also positively influence the lives of those around us. Effects of criticism and complaints. Criticism and complaints are part of life, but we need to be careful about how we deal with them. When we focus on criticizing, whether ourselves or others, we create a barrier that can hinder our communication with God. This type of negativity can distance us from the peace and joy He offers us. Instead of seeking solutions, we often get stuck in a cycle of complaints that leads us nowhere. Complaints can create a toxic environment, both for ourselves and for those around us. When we are constantly complaining, it not only affects our mood, but can also influence the mood of those who listen to us. This negative energy can spread, creating distrust and distancing in relationships. It's as if we are building walls instead of bridges. Furthermore, when we focus on criticisms, we fail to see the blessings that are around us. It's easy to lose perspective and concentrate only on what is wrong in our lives. This can affect our spirituality as we distance ourselves from gratitude and the acknowledgement of the good things that God provides us. A lack of gratitude can generate a feeling of dissatisfaction that pulls us away from the divine presence. Communication with God can also be affected by this negative posture. When we approach Him only to complain, we are closing ourselves off from hearing His voice. Instead of seeking comfort and guidance, we may feel even more frustrated. This prevents us from developing a healthy and deep relationship with Him, where we can express our concerns constructively. Finally, it is vital to learn to express our feelings in a way that does not distance us from God. Instead of criticisms, we can seek dialogue and understanding. Rather than complaints, may we cultivate gratitude and the pursuit of solutions. In this way, we strengthen our spirituality and our communication with the divine, creating a more conducive space for growth and connection. Cultivating a positive vocabulary. Cultivating a positive vocabulary is fundamental for those seeking a closer relationship with God. The words we choose have enormous power over our emotional and spiritual state. When we use uplifting language, we are not only strengthening ourselves, but also helping those around us feel better. For example, instead of complaining or criticizing, we can choose to express gratitude and encouragement. This simple change of words can have a profound impact on our lives and the lives of others. Furthermore, a positive vocabulary helps us see the world in a more optimistic way. When we speak in an encouraging manner, it reflects in our actions and attitudes. The daily practice of praising, thanking, and motivating creates a more welcoming and hopeful environment. Therefore, by surrounding ourselves with words that promote good, we are also drawing closer to God, who is the source of all goodness. Another important aspect is that a positive vocabulary can help us face challenges. In difficult times, choosing words that convey hope and strength can change the way we approach situations. This does not mean ignoring reality, but rather addressing it in a way that allows us to maintain faith and trust in God. After all, we are called to live by faith, and words are a powerful tool in this process. In addition to impacting ourselves, positive words influence those who hear us. When we speak constructively, we can inspire others to adopt this attitude as well. It's contagious. An environment where people support and encourage each other is a place where the presence of God becomes more evident. Therefore, cultivating a positive vocabulary is a commitment we can make daily. Finally, it is important to remember that this practice is not limited to what we say, but also to what we hear. Choosing to consume positive content, whether in music, books, or conversations, is an extension of our vocabulary. By surrounding ourselves with good influences, we strengthen our spirituality and our connection with God. The role of prayer and worship are essential practices for strengthening our relationship with God. When we dedicate ourselves to pray, we are opening a channel of direct communication with Him. It is a moment when we can express our feelings, concerns, and gratitude. Prayer helps us align our thoughts and intentions with the divine will, creating a space for peace and clarity to enter our lives. Worshiping God is another powerful way to connect with Him. Worship goes beyond words. It is an expression of our heart. As we sing, praise, and give thanks, we acknowledge God's greatness and place ourselves in a position of humility. This act of surrender and reverence brings us even closer to the Creator, allowing His presence to manifest in our lives. Furthermore, prayer and worship can help us face moments of doubt and difficulty. When we feel lost, turning to God in prayer can bring comfort and direction. Through worship, we find strength to carry on. It is a reminder that we are not alone, and divine help is always within reach. Another important facet is that prayer and worship can transform our inner selves. As we dedicate ourselves to these practices, we are shaped and renewed. Our perspective can change, and we are encouraged to see things with eyes of faith. This is especially important in challenging times when doubt can try to pull us away from God. Finally, the regular practice of prayer and worship creates a habit that keeps us connected to God. It is like a spiritual exercise that strengthens us each day. In this way, we can cultivate a fuller life, filled with gratitude and trust, knowing that God is always by our side, ready to listen and guide us. And so we come to a crucial point. The words we use have immense power. They can build or destroy, unite or divide. Have you ever stopped to think that often it is we ourselves who push God's presence away from our lives with what we say? Imagine how your spiritual journey would be if you chose words that uplift, that bring life and hope. What changes could you make today? How about starting to practice a more loving communication? What would you say to someone you love? Remember, each word is a seed. What are you planting in your heart and in the hearts of others? As you reflect on this, how about committing to speak with more kindness and faith? And before we say goodbye, I want to hear from you. What words or phrases have impacted your life? Leave your comment and share your experience. Together, we can learn to cultivate an environment closer to God. Don't forget, transformation begins within us, and words are the first step. So, how about today being the light that shines in someone's life? Let's embark on this journey of faith together.